I'm going to be sharing with you in this video a very interesting point of view that I haven't heard many people talking about, which is actually the point that I'm going to make in this video, is that people's biggest fear is actually winning. That's people's biggest fear. You would think that people's worst fear is living into some past pattern. But if you look at the behavior of most people, and if I look at my own behavior in my life, in terms of the person that I used to be and all the things that I've overcome, I've come to realize that fear is this self-fulfilling prophecy where what we're really scared of is actually letting go of the bad things that we think are going to happen that become self-fulfilling prophecies. I'm going to share with you in this video how to overcome this, how to let go of making things hard so you can actually make your life easier and win like you're meant to let go of the ideas that you have to lose and to remove these self-fulfilling prophecies. Let's talk about that in this video. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally or join my group program that I am running very, very soon, hit the link that's in the description box of this video. It's also going to be in the comments of this video as well for all the details that you need to see either of those things and how to join those. So the first thing that I want to share with you in this video is actually a question. And that question is, what if everything goes perfectly in your life, exactly how you want, even greater than you imagined, right? Exactly what you want plus even more. I want you to consider this because this conditioning that we have in society makes our mind go in all these different directions, fragmented directions, right? Goes over here, goes, so we have no control over our mind, and we always think about the worst case scenario. That's that primal part of the brain. That's all that past conditioning. That's how we've been conditioned to think, right? These are the patterns that people are conditioned to believe. It's patterns, right? These patterns are dominating our thinking. Now, of course, I'm going to share with you in a little bit how you are not a pattern. I hope that's incredibly obvious that a pattern and a thought form pattern is not actually you, but I'll go a little bit deeper with that in just a moment here. But I want you to ponder upon that question. What if everything goes perfectly? And oftentimes, we don't even consider that possibility. We always think about, what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? What about this? And then it's so interesting if you live into this long enough and then you get on the other side of it and you have the courage to face your fear, which really what I mean is not believing in the fear, which I'll share with you. I'm gonna record a whole other video on how actually facing your fear is easier than you think. Being scared is the hard part. Facing your fear is not believing in the resistance and getting to the effortless flow where you can actually get more results, better results in your life with less effort. You ever heard of the 80-20 rule, right? You can put in 20% of the effort and get 80% of the results. And the universe is designed in this way. That is absolutely not an accident, but we'll get to that in a whole nother video. Anyways, what if everything goes perfectly? What if that was to happen? I want you to really sit with that, because if you have the courage again to face that and go on the other side, which you'll prove to yourself and you'll build momentum in, is what you realize is that it can go perfectly. It doesn't have to be as hard as you believe. So that's just something to consider. Now, the second thing that I want to share with you in this video is to understand that unconscious conditioning and programming, and there's nobody to blame, by the way, because maybe you were born into some family or some kind of programming, and when you were younger, you have a little bit of a right to blame and to criticize. Eventually, that's not going to work, and you're going to have to take responsibility. At least that's been my experience. To stop blaming the conditioning and the programming and the subconscious programming and all these things. Nonetheless, though, from a foundation that I wanted to communicate where blaming and judging and criticizing is not going to be beneficial to help you. With that being said, what I want to communicate to you is that conditioning and programming makes people think that something is wrong. Something is wrong, right? That's the conditioning. That's the conditioning. It's just that where we have this momentum of fear that is making us believe that we really believe that something is wrong. And then of course, when you really believe that something is wrong, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Just like I said in my video today, like in my meditations. If I really believe that this wasp, or the other day I was meditating, and if I really believe that in my meditations, for example, I was in nature, and there was like a wasp or a bee and like flies flying around me, right? And when I really believe that there's something wrong, I always get that reflection, and then the bee starts attacking me, and if you run away from the bee, then it's chasing you, and all these things happen, right? And that's just one example. So when I released the resistance in my meditation, and I decided to just stay calm, and I believed there was nothing wrong, and I even said to myself, oh, it's just a friend. The wasp is a friend. I changed my perspective. It just flew away. I stopped believing there was something wrong, and then that became my experience. And it's very interesting to notice that if you believe there's something wrong, and you believe that something is out to get you, and you believe that, and you have paranoia, right? You can actually get into pronoia, where you believe that everything is working in your favor, and that you'll get that reflection. But if you believe in paranoia, then you will always get that reflection, right? The world will reflect to you what you believe to be true, and that has been my experience. So this conditioning is running society, unfortunately. At least it used to, and we could get to a point where it doesn't have to. I believe that society used to be in this way. And of course, there's all realities exist simultaneously, but what I like to focus on is the parts of society that are working properly in the orderly fashion, and at least that's the reflection that I like to see. So what I want you to understand, and to conclude this video, is that if you go searching for a problem, if you look for a problem, if you believe that you have to find, if you believe there is a problem and you keep searching for a problem, if you keep looking for a problem and you believe there's something wrong, you will always get that reflection. If you go searching for something wrong and you think there's something wrong, that's exactly what you're going to find in your life. So I want you to start to open yourself to the possibility that you do not need to look for a problem in your life. And I really want to make this clear to conclude this video. Any single moment in your life, and I've overcome so many challenges in my life when it comes to the skin issues that I used to have, when it comes to certain financial issues that I used to have, when it comes to relationship issues with my family and my mom and other people in my life, right? There's certain problems that I had in my life, and I realized that I had a habit of continually looking for problems, right? It was a habit. And if you keep looking for problems and you build this habit, you're basically conditioning yourself to be continually finding things that are not working in your life. And that's something that you want to stop doing. You want to let go of this habit, because this habit is going to continually ruin your life, right? And when you stop doing this, what happens is that you start to take responsibility, and you realize that you don't actually have to keep doing it. You don't have to keep doing it because maybe you believed you had to at some point, but eventually you can let that go. You can let that go. So think about it. In any moment that you're in, life is just an appearance. It's just an appearance. Things are popping in, things are popping out. In any appearance, you can look at that appearance and choose to see a problem in that appearance. Choose to see a problem. Oh my gosh, there's a problem. Something might happen. And then you can follow that timeline. Now, similarly, or different, now contrary to that, what you can do is the appearance can happen and you can have a completely different reaction or no reaction at all to that appearance and not see any problem whatsoever. And then you're not going to participate in that reality. And this becomes really interesting if you test this all the way, if you really test it and you have the courage to move beyond your conditioning, because what happens is that you quite literally realize that in a way, reality and imagination are a pretty fine line, so that if you really believe there's a problem, it will become real for you. It will become real. And at that point, when you're in that reality, it's not that what you're saying is wrong. It's not that it's not valid. It's not that it doesn't exist. But in a way, it's only a part of your experience because you keep choosing to look for the problem. And if you stop looking for a problem and you focus on seeing this moment as perfect, as there is no problem, things as whole, as complete, if you see yourself as whole and complete, if you stop looking for problems in yourself, if you stop picking at your flaws, you'll find that your flaws go away. That's what it really means to unconditionally love yourself, right? If you want to unconditionally love yourself, stop picking at your flaws. Stop looking at the problem. Stop looking at all the things that are wrong with you, because you keep creating them by doing that. And also, if you focus on the solution, that's how you're going to see. Now, I'm not saying that you don't want to be conscious of the problems in reality, but you can not get lost in them and always be seeing the solution. Okay, so I know that sounded like a contradiction, but you can see things that are happening but be hyper-focused on the solution. And if you do this, I promise you, your reality will shift and you'll notice that you are a powerful creator and you do not need to be focused on anything that you don't want to be focused on. And with that, I conclude this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video. It's also going to be in the comments of this video as well. I'm also running a group program. I want as many people as possible to be a part of it. It starts very, very soon. If you want details on that as well, it's also going to be in the description box and in the comments of this video as well. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.